Hi there. Today I'm going to talk to you about losing weight in perimenopause or menopause. So many of my patients come to me in their either early 40s, late 40s, early 50s in the perimenopausal time frame and have difficulty losing weight. So I'm going to talk to you about why that might be and what you can do about it. I'm Dr. Shiroko Sokitch, owner of Heart to Heart Medical Center and the author of the book, Healing When It Seems Impossible, 7 Keys to Defy the Odds. And again, today I'm going to talk to you about weight loss in perimenopause and why it might be difficult to lose weight. Now, it's surprising because a lot of people think that estrogen makes you gain weight, but actually, as estrogen levels go down, as estrogen levels go down, that is when you start to gain weight because your body starts holding on to fat trying to raise your estrogen. So isn't that interesting? Because estrogen can be stored in fat. And so as you start going into perimenopause and your estrogen levels start to go down, your body starts holding on to fat because it wants to grab estrogen. Now, interestingly enough, there's also this thing called estrogen dominance, and estrogen dominance can also cause weight gain because what happens is then the body holds on to estrogen. And some women, when they start taking estrogen, start to have trouble with holding on to estrogen or the excess estrogen symptoms because of some toxins in the environment. So there are a lot of reasons that you have trouble with weight loss during perimenopause or in menopause. Other thing is that when you start using, another thing that happens is that progesterone levels start to decline, and they decline faster than estrogen levels, which is part of what contributes to the sort of the PMS symptoms and the heavy bleeding and the other symptoms that can happen around perimenopause. So the whole point is that it's important for your body to have balance in the perimenopausal time. Another thing that happens is that as estrogen levels decline, your blood sugar you become what's called insulin resistant. And so your body starts having a harder time recognizing insulin, and then your blood sugar becomes unstable. And so then you have these ups and downs of estrogen and ups and downs of insulin, because in perimenopause, that's one of the things that happens. Some days your estrogen levels are higher, some days your estrogen levels are lower. Right before your period, of course, all your hormone levels drop, so things might feel worse before your period. And then your weight gain can also be higher because you're insulin resistant and your body doesn't recognize when it can become insulin sensitive. The other thing is that the body also lowers testosterone around this time, sometimes, not always, but sometimes. And so there's also a loss of muscle mass, and that slows your metabolic rate as well. So it's very important to actually do weight training for many reasons, because heavy weight training can help build muscle, but it can also help protect bone. And getting your bones strong, or keeping your bones strong, is an important thing in perimenopause and menopausal times. Also, your body starts accumulating fat in the wrong places, and it starts to go from under the skin to inside around the organs, and that can cause inflammation in your body. And so that's another thing that begins to happen, and that makes it harder for the body to recognize insulin. And that's a difficult cycle to break. So some of my patients have, there's another thing, sleep becomes a problem, of course, because as progesterone goes down and other hormones go down, you start to have more difficulty staying asleep or falling asleep. And when you have that kind of difficulty falling asleep or sleeping well, then sleep also affects cortisol levels. And then if your cortisol levels are higher, then you might wake up in the morning feeling sort of agitated, have a poor appetite, and not want to eat breakfast. and not feeling like you have slept well. So there's this whole cascade. So estrogen levels drop, that causes fat accumulation in the wrong places, that causes insulin resistance, that causes higher cortisol, that causes sleep problems. So it goes on in this cycle. So, of course, everything is connected to getting more balanced and finding the right way to get your body balanced. So that is one of my specialties, is to help people find balance in their hormones in perimenopause and after menopause that will help support your cardiovascular system, help your bones, help your body feel stronger, and help you feel your best in your life. So one other thing that that is important is, like, if you start taking hormone replacement therapy, some of my patients have had this experience of starting to take hormone replacement therapy. Some people start taking hormones later, after menopause has occurred, sometimes several years. And it's not ever really too late to start hormone replacement, but sometimes your body has gotten used to not having any hormones. And when you start taking them, it's like the receptors have been sleeping. And so when you first start taking them, it's possible that you could have hot flashes, or maybe even gain a little bit of weight. And part of that is because the body is like learning again what is happening. But the upshot of the whole thing is, if you start taking hormones and you don't feel right when taking hormones, I usually recommend that you do a detox. I'm talking at this time of year because it's spring, and it's common in spring because in Chinese medicine, springtime is the time of the liver. And people, it's a great time to do a detox. We have a lot of toxins in our environment, and a lot of the toxins in our environment affect our hormones. And so if, when you start taking hormones, or you're going through perimenopause or menopausal symptoms, you might find yourself not getting the results that you think you should be getting. And the reason is because your body hasn't been able to manage the toxins that are in your liver and help support that. So one of the very valuable things to do in the perimenopausal time or menopausal time is to do a detox, where you give your body the right things to help clear the hormonal toxins from your system, and kind of like cleaning out your system. Once the system has been cleaned out and the receptors have been cleared so that your body can recognize hormones in the right way and start using them in the right way, then you will be able to feel better. So this is all in order to help you help your body recognize the hormones that you have, use them the way that they should be used. And if they're not there, like if you don't have hormones present in your body, then to get the right hormone replacement in the right way to support the best functioning of your health. I hope you found that helpful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to write a comment here or send me an email and I'll answer your questions. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day.